Let's go!
Starting off with probably the franchise's most famous 3D game, we have Super Mario 64, a game released on set with the Nintendo 64 console for Japan. However, for Europe and the USA, it wasn't until later on that both the console and the game in particular were released. Europe did not get it until 1997, pure UK. However, enough about that. The game utilised Nintendo's new 64-bit hardware, allowing for 3D geometric games, and it was the debut and test for Mario's slow and gradual transition from 2D to 3D. Needless to say, it worked, and for good reason. Super Mario 64 was a commercial success, selling nearly 12 million copies to date, making it the most bought game for the N64. So let's talk about why this is, and what the game has to offer. As always for 10 years apart, we're starting with the story. So in summary, here we go. The Power Stars are the most magical and important things in the Mushroom Kingdom. The castle of Princess Toadstool is run by these 120 stars. When Mario arrives at the princess' house for cake, weird plot, Bowser is already invaded. The majority of the Power Stars are taken by the King of the Koopas from Mushroom Castle. Peach and her Toad Slayers hid the remaining ones. Unfortunately, Bowser steals enough to lock both Peach and her Toads behind the castle walls, as well as use the paintings in the castle to build his own bizarre and twisted worlds. However, Bowser was unaware of one moustache plumber whose goal it is to find the Stone Stars and restore their power. This would be a consistent plot point for Mario games following the series, and was prior. However, the paintings gimmick showed the game could come up with original ideas and settings for Mario's adventures, which would remain a precedent following. Arguably, the story most definitely inspired many games to date. However, a more specific example is my favourite game for the N64, Banjo-Kazooie. Also inspiring other games like Spyro the Dragon, Donkey Kong 64, and etc. The game's graphics are more often than not more polished than those found on the console. The key drawback is the controls, but adapting to the N64 controller doesn't take too long. The designs of stages and worlds are very stylistic and a standout for most. For a video game standard during 1996, the game was remarkably superior. The game most definitely works. Many review aggregates such as Nintendo Life rate a 10 out of 10, a 9.8 from IGN, and a 94% on Metacritic. With it also receiving a Kids Reward for Best Video Game in 1999, this shows how beloved of a game it is. And it is still loved today and still finds various new audiences from people who speedrun it, mod it. And all this shows how if a game is good quality, it can still find life even after 25 years since it was released. Even now, new younger audiences can play it, love it due to its release on N64 Online, showing the lasting legacy and impact of Super Mario 64. Therefore, finishing Super Mario 64 won't take you too long, but like with other Mario games, it will take you weeks and even months to uncover all of its secrets, for those who scandalously haven't gotten around to playing this unquestionable classic. In summary, play the game. It's November 2007, and as a kid or adult during the month nationally, Super Mario Galaxy is released, and you're able to get your hands on it and play it on the brilliant Wii. 4 words instantly pop to mind. Oh my fucking god. Yes, that's a reaction, and really the only appropriate reaction that should be elicited by the first Mario Galaxy. It is truly my favourite Mario game series, and since nothing has reached the heights for me that it did, some close from the Mario series, but truly not many competitors can compete with the Mario Galaxy games. And let's talk about why Mario Galaxy was the Wii's first true masterpiece. Beginning with old habits, Bowser appears in Super Mario Galaxy. Once more, Peach is the object of his desire, and in typical Bowser manner, she has been taken from her castle. Bowser goes all Paper Mario on us and raises the castle into space rather than just grabbing Peach. As a result of the incident, Mario is launched into space and away from Bowser, starting his mission to save the princess. A tiny white puffball awakens Mario on a weird planet, but it's not Mallow from Super Mario RPG. It's actually a Luma, a member of the race that will one day populate galaxies. They are the most important new characters in the game, and they live at the Comet Observatory, which serves as the hub connecting all of Super Mario Galaxy stages. Rosalina, the princess of space who resembles Princess Peach a lot, lives there. Rosalina informs Mario that in order to power the observatory to journey to the universe's centre and save his special one there, the Power Stars must be found. Almost every galaxy you discover is a complete delight to experience. The level designs are top notch in every way, with a ton of cunning and occasionally evil traps and riddles for Mario to solve. Although it might be frustrating to less experienced players at first, the game ramps up nicely as it progresses, increasing the challenge steadily until the final areas. This gives you the kind of challenging workout you've come to expect from a Mario adventure. Following, now for the game's aesthetics, Super Mario Galaxy's stunning graphics and visuals demonstrated the Wii's capabilities. The colour contrast in this Mario game are unlike anything you've ever seen before. Everything that has several colours has the ideal amount of contrast. Best of all, the music on the other hand is the one element that essentially lacks flaws. Super Mario Galaxy is the first Mario platformer with outstanding music since Super Mario Bros. 3 was released. Except for a very small number of songs, every song is expertly orchestrated and written with unimaginable magnificence. Every single song in the game is almost faultless. At the time of its closure in 2019, Super Mario Galaxy was the highest rated game of all time on review aggregating site GameRanking, and earned a Nintendo Selects re-release in 2011, showing both external and internal acknowledgement of the brilliant game. And even recently, in accommodation of Mario's 35th, Nintendo released 3D All-Stars, which contained Mario Galaxy within it. This shows its underlying dominance years after 2007. Of Nintendo's 5, technically 6 3D Mario games, Galaxy seems to be the outlier. Sunshine and Mario 64, which came before it, both took place on ground and in water rather than deep space. The Nintendo 64 Classic has more similarities to Galaxy than Sunshine, though when you properly examine and contrast the 5 games, Galaxy was such a worthy spiritual successor to 64, feeling fresh and innovative. It brought Mario games to a whole new level of creativity and design, setting new precedents for the series to follow, thus showing the game is brilliant and a worthwhile playthrough. So if you don't have a copy, get one, and if you can't, ROM it. Just don't miss out on a game like Mario Galaxy. Closing in on the Nintendo Switch's release, you often wonder, where's the Mario game? However, in this case, patience is key. Waiting to October the 27th, Super Mario Odyssey was released for pretty much all countries same day, which is phenomenal considering the past. However, countries like South Korea or China didn't get it until later. Especially China, in which the game released March 2020, more than 2.5 years later. Sad times. However, booting it up, the game starts with of course Charles Martinet and a lovely piano title theme. With that out the way, let's talk about modern Mario. In the opening cutscene of Super Mario Odyssey, Bowser defeats Mario, making him anything but the confident hero. The famous foe is determined to wed Peach, and Mario is powerless to stop him. Being swept from Bowser's ship and into the ground below, we begin in the Cap Kingdom, where sentient hats lament the loss of one of their own, which in this case is Peach's tiara, Cappy's sister. Naturally, all of the flying hat-shaped ships were destroyed by Bowser and his wicked bunny wedding planners, who also created a mess. Stick with me here. Mario meets Cappy and starts his adventure, exhausted but determined. Super Mario Odyssey delivers on that ongoing promise of originality and innovation. Each kingdom is jam-packed with charm, ingenious goals, stunning graphics, an outstanding soundtrack, and a wide range of ways to have fun. Odyssey includes a few fantastic new improvements, and nearly all of Super Mario 64's moveset, including the long leap, triple jump, ground pound, backflip, and side somersault. Cappy, a sentient cap that enables Mario to inhabit individuals and objects, is one new character. He and it essentially takes the place of the game's previous power-up system. Put the hat on a bullet bill and you transform into an unstoppable rocket that can smash through obstacles and adversaries. You can leap much higher while being utterly charming if you put the cap on the frog. Figuring out how to use this odd collection of skills to move about is a key component of many of the game's challenges. Although the basic toss is simple, Nintendo has also made use of motion controls for more complex movements like the circular attack, which is commonly necessary for some puzzles, and the ability to flow the character vertically. The essential actions needed to advance in the game can all be performed by pressing a button, but some of the more cleverer throws do involve motion inputs, drawing inspiration, as I said, from Mario Galaxy. Each kingdom has 2 stores. A broad range is purchasable with the common gold coins you could collect. However, with region-specific outfits and souvenirs which can be stuck on and inside the Odyssey, being available with the area's purple currency. Finding the fixed number of each of the region's currency is a nice sub-quest outside of Power Moons. The game takes new steps, and little things such as outfits bring a new sense of wonder and fun to the game, spicing up the Mario genre little by little. Overall, Super Mario Odyssey is a wonderful tribute to Mario 64, but it's not a lazy homage. Super Mario Odyssey draws inspiration from the superb classic to top it, and everything that came after it. All of this helped the game to be reviewed positively, with many review aggregates such as Nintendo Life scoring it a 10 out of 10, 97% on Metacritic, and 9.5 on Polygon, thus making it, as a Mario game, a brilliant one at that. So of course the same goes. Go bloody play it. I've given you so much insight to all these games, just do it already. As always, here's some fan reception of the game coming on screen now during the outro.